I'm Omar Shakir, the Israel and Palestine Director at Human Rights Watch. On May 7th, Israeli authorities revoked Human Rights Watch's work permit and told me I have 14 days to leave the country. But this isn't about me.
But this is about you, mate. There are literally thousands of human rights activists and observers inside Israel, and none of them are banned. In fact, the only people that do get barred are those that are actively encouraging other people to boycott Israel. So let's face it, mate, you got a little bit upset when Israel boycotted you because you were telling other people to boycott them.
Israel has adopted laws to punish advocates of boycotts and make it harder for human rights organizations to operate. For 30 years, Human Rights Watch has documented the institutional discrimination, repression, and systematic rights abuse characteristic of Israel's half-century occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. But this is the first time Israel has ordered a member of our staff out of the country.
So let's be honest. If Human Rights Watch appointed an uber Zionist, like the ultimate Zionist, like any of the people you see on this channel times 20, if Human Rights Watch appointed one of them as the director for Israel and Palestine, would you trust them to accurately report what's going on in Gaza, given that they have this huge Zionist bias? Of course not. So why on earth would you trust their appointment of one of America's biggest pro-Palestinian activists? I mean, Omar is biased. If you don't believe what I'm saying, let's have a look at his history on Israel-Palestine. So let's begin 8 years ago, in 2010, when he was delivering a presentation called Apartheid is Real. In this presentation, he called on people to boycott Israel.
And for that, I encourage you to all look to a campaign of boycott, divestment, sanctions.
In 2013, he was at it again and he introduced a BDS resolution to the undergraduate senate at Stanford University. In 2014, he tweeted in support of a terrorist that had killed 2 Israelis in a bombing. In 2015, he was at it again. This time, he was representing Stephen Slater, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, who was fired for anti-Semitism. To give you a sample of that anti-Semitism, one of his tweets mentioned Zionists transforming anti-Semitism from something horrible into something honourable since 1948. He also signed a letter pledging to engage with Palestinians in our communities and support delegations to Palestine that are meant to highlight the reality on the ground of occupation, apartheid, and ethnic cleansing. I mean, if you're going to appoint a human rights director, this guy seems so neutral. I mean, occupation, apartheid, and ethnic cleansing? Clearly, this guy doesn't have a bias. He went on to tweet again in 2015 that Gaza is not just a kind of concentration camp, it's the hood on steroids. I mean, concentration camp? Are you serious? I mean, this guy is so unbiased. One of the most shocking things he tweeted was this anti-Semitic cartoon of a Syrian soldier being propped up by a Jew. See the Star of David on the hat? That was just 2015. In 2016, things didn't slow down. He was at it again tweeting, "Does Israel practice apartheid?" This 2-minute video breaks it down. Another thing he tweeted was promoting the boycott, divestment and sanctions founder, Barghouti. And then just to make sure there was no doubt, during a panel event held at Kent State University, he encouraged the students there to boycott Israel. Pretty exhaustive list, yeah? No, this was just a brief summary of the biases this dude has against Israel. Now, irrespective of whether you think he should or he shouldn't be allowed into the country, you need to ask yourself one simple question. Is this guy impartial? Because if he isn't, he should never have been appointed to his position as director for Israel and Palestine for Human Rights Watch, because he can't be trusted to judge impartially on whether there are human rights violations or not, because he doesn't just have a dog in the race, this guy has a bleeding elephant in the race. He's one of the most biased appointees they could have possibly chosen. So is it any wonder that Israel boycotted the boycotter? Thank you for watching. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube, hit the follow button on Twitter, and like us on Facebook.